Dear Magpie, it's been so long since I last wrote to you. You were never supposed to see those letters, so I don't blame you for not writing me back. Maybe you moved after that ghost that looked like me broke into your apartment. Well, after I broke into your apartment and the ghost followed me. It feels like forever ago now. Wherever you are, I hope you're safe. Something big is happening in Guilt City, and the Night Post is at the heart of it. I'm at the heart of it. Val, Milo, and me. The truth is, this has been in the making for longer than anybody knows. But Station 103's part in it began when Ashley went missing. You don't mind me using this letter as a place to organize my thoughts, do you? Ever since my father died, writing letters has been my way of trying to make sense of everything. Somehow, it helps just to pretend that you're listening. Oh, hey Val.
It's not like you to head out after sunset, Clementine. Don't want to get too much of a late start.
I'll keep that in mind, Postmaster.
Very good. Delivery by dawn. That's our guarantee.
A year ago, Ashley Silex Wilder was the senior courier at Station 103, until one night in August when he didn't come back from his route. We didn't hear anything from Ashley after that, and his husband Milo was conscripted to take his place at 103. Our postmaster, Nicholas Best, wasn't very forthcoming with information, and it felt like no one else cared about finding Ashley. So we decided to go on strike to make them listen. That's how we learned just how strong a hold the Night Post has on us. We couldn't sleep, growing weaker and sicker until we finally gave in. But we didn't give up searching. From some old documents, we learned about a place called Prime City here in the Skelter that was under attack by something known as the Other. The trail led us to Guilt Tower, where we found Ashley. He and Milo only had a few precious minutes together before Ashley was, I don't know how to explain it, pulled back into the Other. He warned us that we would have to decide the fate of everyone in Guilt City. We were still reeling from all of this when we received an ominous letter from the left hand of the governor themselves, Alexandra Block, also known as the Urban Strategist. She had been watching us, testing us, even steered us to Guilt Tower just to see how far we would go. She believed that pigeons carry the destructive power of the Skelter into the city, and that the safest course was to destroy us. Don't worry, Magpie. We all survived. Only poor Val wound up with a lasting injury, but Station 103 was demolished. For several months, we were all split up among different stations, just trying to muddle through on our own. So much was changing. I started seeing Wilhelmina Prescott from the Night Post office in Guilt Tower. She was sweet and sophisticated, and I was happy with her. I also met a crossroads spirit who looked like a cowboy, a gambling trickster that locals call the Stranger. But the most unexpected thing was how we began to change. For me, it was vivid, frightening dreams that felt like premonitions. Val could hear the contents of letters she never read, and Milo, once the owner of a notorious black thumb, developed an unnatural talent with plants. While digging through the ruins of Aggie's bookstore for information on the Other, we ran afoul of the Cult of the Birdwatchers, a bunch of weirdos with an unhealthy obsession with the Post. They showed up again when the grand reopening of Station 103 attracted an angry mob. The Night Post had become even more of a divisive topic for Guilt citizens, and our station was ground zero. Worse, Will confessed that she had started dating me so she could spy on us for Block. So, you know, Clementine gets her heart broken. Again, no big deal. Our investigation seemed to be at a dead end until the Stranger arrived to offer us a deal. Block's location in exchange for our promise to return the favor later. Milo and Val were uneasy about it, but I accepted. What choice did we have? We followed the Stranger's directions to a bunker underneath Guilt Tower, where the strategist who we now know was the former postmaster of Station 103, was being kept alive by advanced machines of her own design. She revealed how the other had chosen and conscripted couriers to spread its influence for as long as humans had lived in the Skelter. When we wouldn't go along with her plan to send the city into war against the Post, Block tried to take us with her by blowing up the bunker. We survived again, I guess by the skin of the other's teeth. We resolved to warn the other hapless employees of the Night Post about our situation, but we ran into some weird complications. We needed allies and a new plan. In the meantime, the Birdwatchers approached Milo with an offer to bring Ashley back. Incredibly, it worked, but the Ashley who returned was not all there. It was a hard time for both of them, but we were preoccupied with everything else going on. The governor tried to recruit us as poster pigeons for their plan to harness the energy of the Skelter. Nicholas told us what he could about how the other communicates with postmasters in its own language. And all the while, my dreams of Gilt City's destruction felt realer and more urgent every day. None of us could have predicted what happened at the Pigeon Appreciation Picnic. Were you at the picnic, Magpie? Were you caught in the chaos when hostile, impossibly fast-growing plant life overran the festival grounds and attacked all the attendees? I'd like to think that if you were, you wouldn't jump to blaming the Night Post like so many people did. I'm sure you remember the mass protest and the doomed pigeon strike. With everything already going wrong, it was the perfect time for the stranger to call in that favor. Our task was simple, it said. Lead Postmaster Best to his death. We found a loophole, and instead of killing Nick, we broke his tether to the post. The cost was what remained of Ashley. Anyway, that's when things really started to come apart. We found a recording from a postmaster of Prime City in the midst of its destruction. They said that every time human civilization threatened the Skelter with industry and overconsumption, the other wiped out the city. They said that retaliation comes through the messenger, the part of the other that's nearest to humans and that holds sway over the Night Post. With no postmaster tying us to 103, Val saw an opportunity to escape, but I just couldn't. This is my home. I have a responsibility to try to save it, or at least pick up the pieces when I fail. My big, noble plan was to take the role of 103's postmaster and whatever burden came with it, but it wasn't up to me. The other chose Val. We thought if we could just communicate with the messenger, we could, I don't know, prevent the end from ever reaching us. The stranger also wanted to break the cycle of destruction, but that was only part of their plan. Its goal all along was to use Val to take the messenger's power for itself. But he didn't count on Serene and the Birdwatchers defying him. When the Birdwatchers used their reverend to pull the messenger into our world, something broke. Everything is mixed up, out of order, and I don't know how to make sense of it. Now, all of this deja vu has me feeling weirdly nostalgic. I remember curling up in bed with you in Acorn while thunder crashed and rain poured on the roof. No storm could ever find us there. I still miss you sometimes, Magpie, but I'm glad I've let you go. I have to be strong for my friends now. For Val. For all the city and the Skelter. Take care of yourself. Your friend, Clementine.
Hey, Clem. It's time to go.
I know. I'm ready.